Let me tell you something that might change how you see love forever. We've all been fed the same tired advice about playing hard to get, keeping mystery alive, and following dating rules that sound smart, but leave us running in circles. But what if I told you that real love shows up in ways that have nothing to do with games or clever strategies? Here's what most women don't realize. While we're busy analyzing mixed signals and getting addicted to emotional roller coasters, we might be walking right past men who are genuinely falling for us. These men aren't smooth talkers with perfect pickup lines. They're not the ones making grand gestures or playing mind games. Instead, their feelings manifest in subtle ways that their own minds can't control. Today, I'm going to share 6 psychological patterns that reveal when a man is truly in love. These aren't things he can fake or turn on and off. They come from deep in his nervous system, and once you know what to look for, you'll never question his feelings again. Pattern 1. The mirror effect. The first pattern is something scientists call the mirror effect, and it's honestly a little magical when you see it happening. When a man starts falling deeply for you, his brain literally begins to sync with yours. It's like his entire system adjusts to match your rhythm without him even knowing it's happening. You'll start noticing he uses your phrases naturally in conversation. His texting style shifts to match your pace. When you're excited, his energy lifts. When you're down, his mood drops too, even if he doesn't know why. I remember watching this happen with my friend Sarah. She'd be sitting across from this guy at dinner, and within minutes, their posture would match perfectly. When she leaned forward, he leaned forward. When she crossed her arms, he'd do the same thing moments later. It wasn't conscious, it was his nervous system recognizing her as significant. This happens because of something called mirror neurons in our brains. They create what researchers call emotional contagion, where one person's emotional state literally transfers to another. It's not just copying body language. It's a deep biological alignment that only happens when his subconscious senses real compatibility. Here's what makes this so powerful. Anyone can pretend to be interested for a while. They can say the right words or put on a charm. But no one can fake unconscious neural synchronization. When you see this mirror effect happening, you're witnessing something rare and real. Pattern 2. Selective vulnerability. The second pattern is what I call selective vulnerability, and it's one of the clearest signs that he's testing whether he can trust you with his heart. When a man starts falling for someone, he doesn't open up all at once. Instead, he reveals small pieces of himself in moments that might seem ordinary but carry huge meaning for him. He might share a story about failing at something important. He'll admit to a childhood insecurity that still bothers him. Maybe he'll confess a fear about the future or a dream he keeps quiet because he's worried people would judge him. These moments aren't random. They're trust tests, quiet ways of seeing if you'll listen, understand, and hold his truth without judgment. If you respond with compassion, he relaxes and opens another door. If you dismiss it or change the subject, that door might never open again. There's an evolutionary reason for this. For thousands of years, men learned that showing weakness could mean danger or losing respect. So when he chooses to expose even a small part of his inner world, his instincts are telling him you're safe and worth the risk. A guy who's only interested on the surface will never go there. He'll keep things light and easy. But a man who cares deeply can't help but reveal pieces of his authentic self. When he says, "I rarely talk about this," or "I've never told anyone this before," pay attention. That's not small talk, that's a breakthrough. Pattern 3. Strategic attention. The third pattern is about how his attention shifts when he's truly invested. Scientists call it attentional bias, and it means you literally become the focal point in his mind while other details fade into the background. You'll see this in the little things he remembers. He recalls that you eat the pizza crust first. He brings up a story you told weeks ago, like it just happened. He notices how your voice changes when you talk about your family. These details stick with him because his brain has created a special place for information about you. But here's what makes it even more meaningful. He uses those memories to create moments of connection. He'll text you before your big presentation because he remembers you were anxious about it. He suggests a restaurant that doesn't serve the food you hate. He might send you a picture of something random that reminded him of a conversation you had. These aren't grand gestures meant to impress. They're proof that he's been listening and that what matters to you actually matters to him. This separates casual interest from deep emotional investment. A guy who's only casually interested might remember your favorite color. But a man who's deeply drawn to you remembers the story behind why that became your favorite color. He's not just storing facts, he's creating a complete map of who you are. In a world full of distractions, this kind of focus is rare. Most people forget conversations minutes after they happen. But when you become his priority, his mind keeps returning to you, filing away your words like treasures. Pattern 4. Body language truth. The fourth pattern is all about body language, because while words can lie, his nervous system never does. A man might carefully choose what he says and guard his emotions, but his body becomes the most honest messenger. This is why body language is one of the clearest signs of genuine feelings. It bypasses his conscious control completely. First, notice orientation and proximity. No matter where he is in a room, his body turns toward you. His feet point in your direction. Even when he's talking to someone else, he finds reasons to stand closer or lean in when you speak, like he's pulled by some invisible force. Then there are what we call grooming behaviors. He straightens his posture when you walk in. He adjusts his shirt or runs a hand through his hair without thinking. These are instinctive attempts to look his best, driven by biology rather than conscious choice. Eye contact tells an even deeper story. His gaze finds you across crowded spaces. During conversations, his eyes return to yours, even when others are speaking. The most telling moment comes when your eyes meet unexpectedly before he has time to compose himself. His expression softens, and a genuine smile flashes across his face. That unguarded smile is something no one can rehearse. You might also notice restless energy touching his neck, adjusting his watch, or tapping fingers when you're around. This isn't discomfort, it's nervous energy created by attraction. Your presence literally shifts his physical state. His body is having a constant conversation with you, broadcasting truth through posture, distance, gaze, and movement. Once you understand this silent language, you'll never have to wonder what he feels. Pattern 5. Emotional safety testing. The fifth pattern is emotional safety testing, and it shows how his heart and his protective instincts battle it out. When a man starts caring deeply, he wants to open up, but his instincts remind him that vulnerability can be dangerous. So his mind creates small, unconscious tests to see if you're safe enough for his full self. He might share something slightly risky, an unpopular opinion, or a story that makes him look less perfect. Sometimes he'll let his mood drop, showing you a quieter, more uncertain side. Each moment is a calibration to see how you respond when he's not wearing his best mask. These tests ask silent questions. Can you handle him when he's not confident? Can you listen without judging when he admits fears? Will you still respect him if he reveals flaws? If you meet those moments with warmth and acceptance, he learns that intimacy with you is safe. Each compassionate response brings down another layer. But if you dismiss or turn away, that door closes and might not reopen. This comes from generations of men being taught that survival depended on emotional control. Showing weakness meant risking everything. When he tests emotional safety with you, he's not trying to frustrate you, he's seeing if his heart will be safe in your hands. Pattern 6. Consistency over time. The final pattern is the most powerful proof of genuine love. Consistency. Anyone can shine brightly for a short time, but true devotion shows up in steady actions, repeated day after day. A man who's serious about you doesn't keep you guessing. If he says he'll call, he calls. If he makes plans, he follows through. When life gets stressful, he doesn't vanish, he stays present, offering stability when uncertainty could easily take over. This isn't about perfection, it's about reliability. It's the morning text that comes not from obligation, but because thinking of you has become part of his routine. It's checking in during your hard weeks. It's bringing steady energy, whether his day went well or poorly. This steadiness builds trust over time. With each reliable action, your nervous system relaxes. You stop living in constant doubt and start feeling grounded in the certainty that he's there and not looking for reasons to leave. In a culture that confuses drama with passion, it's easy to overlook consistency. But the truth is clear. The man who shows up steadily, who makes you feel safe, who proves his care through reliability, that's the man whose love is real. Now you know the 6 patterns that reveal genuine love: the mirror effect, selective vulnerability, strategic attention, honest body language, emotional safety testing, and consistency over time. These are emotional fingerprints that can't be faked. Real love doesn't live in confusion or drama. It feels calm and safe and builds you up instead of breaking you down. You deserve this kind of love to feel chosen without doubt and valued without condition. When you recognize these patterns, you stop questioning your worth and start expecting the love that honors who you are. The right man won't leave you doubting, he'll leave you certain.